Hey guys, I'm learning TFT and I'm sharing my learnings with you so that you can learn and I can learn better as well. This will be a coaching session that I just had with Aesah where we dive into a all-in Cassante game. I'm going to first do a brief overview about how to approach all-out Cassante. This is not going to be a very deep dive. I'm just going to do high level. And then I'm going to go through my major takeaways from the coaching session. Then I will dive straight into the coaching session with Aesah, and there's a lot more detail and nuance that we discuss in the coaching session itself. So if you want to jump straight to the coaching session, you can go ahead and take a look in the timestamp in the description below. So all-out Cassante is really heavily reliant on swords and gloves because from an itemization standpoint, you need 2 swords and 2 gloves. And later you ideally want to itemize a Kali with an Edge of Night, Karma with a Shojin. You can see here that there's 4 costs, actually 5 costs, 4 of whom are likely you want to itemize. So this is a very item hungry comp and econ hungry comp. Jarvan, you actually don't really need to over itemize, so I wouldn't say you would want 3 items here. Vow is probably the best item. One point that Aesah was mentioning in melee comps, which you're playing around Akali and Cassante, because melee Akali can jump to the back line, Cassante can wrap and do that stuff. Having a strong front line isn't necessarily that great because your melee carries can die before the front line does its thing. Whereas when you're playing traditional front to back, having a strong front line is going to be much more important. So itemizing a Kali, Cassante, and Karma here is going to be more important. One thing that we kind of talk about in the actual coaching session, because this was my first time playing all-out Cassante, is I did a bunch of research into a mech variant and a standard variant, and the mech variant has better stats, averages of 4.4 versus 4.8. Of course, the mech variant has significantly more traits than the standard variant. Let me see if I can pull it up on TFT Academy, which makes it really good for Bronze for Life and Open Builder. Yeah, you can see there's like a million traits here, right? So it's really good for Bronze for Life and Stand United. At level 8, you can replace the Zac with Varus, and at level 9, you can throw in Lee Sin. So I was just, because I wasn't familiar with it, I was trying to flex these two, and Aesah suggested to just stick with the mech variant since that's stronger. And then for the power up, you really need to have all out. All out basically is a hero augment for Cassante and turns him into a carry instead of a tank. And if you haven't heard about it yet, you want to do the power up optimization where you can first put the power up on a unit that is similar to Cassante, because you can't get the same power ups back to back for the same unit type. So if you first put it on Leona, Set, Nico, Rakan, these units, they are similar, but will not have all out because all out's unique for Cassante. It will remove some of those options from the pool that Cassante shares with them, and then that will increase the odds that you can get all out for Cassante. One thing I was doing is I missed on, I first did that, I sold like Set, or I first put the fruit on Set, sold it, put it on Cassante, missed all out on Cassante, removered Cassante, and then did it with like Set or Nico again. And Aesah's point is, once you miss on Cassante, you don't need to do it again for another unit because you already missed and it's automatically tailored. So that just, and actually you decrease the odds when you do that because the other unit like Set may have some power-ups that are not shared by Cassante, so that would lower your odds. If you want to take a look at the rest of my research notes here, you can take a look in the description below. I talked a little bit yesterday about how I put this research together. I went through TFT Academy. Title has a TF Tips comps page, TFT Flow. So I kind of aggregated all of the research into one spot and then like kind of summarized what I found most important, which is how I came up with that. As far as coaching takeaways, I late game was too dizzy because I was trying to flex between the two builds, and so I forgot to move items off of Janna to a stronger 4-cost, 5-cost carry. So that's a very basic concept that I just lost track of what was going on. One important point that Aesah was mentioning that I wasn't aware of before is that in general, Radiant carry items are better than Radiant tank items. And Aesah's explanation for that, because he used to work at Riot, is that they balance off of stats, and lower elo in general can't build enough damage to kill super tanks that have Radiant items. So they intentionally nerf the tank items. And so when you look at the stats here, if you kind of draw a diagonal line across here by frequency and average placement, you will see that there are no tank items on the upper side of this chart, right? All the tank items are on the bottom right. And when you look at the very bottom right, these are all tank items, right? All tank items. And so this is just a useful heuristic if you don't know necessarily what's good. If you just follow this general principle that because Riot is concerned about lower elos having super tanks that can't die, they will nerf the tank items, which means the carry items are going to be better. Another big kind of macro concept that we discussed is how the impact of power-ups in set 15 likely changes the way that items are have value. So because power-ups are almost like having an additional item on your units, it's like you get 4 items. It reminds me of like multiple sets ago when you have support items that could basically make like what was it? There was that one augment that like could let you transform your normal items into support items, and then people made like super carries because it was almost like your 3-star, I think Yone would have like 6 items on it, right? Because you're just amplifying it with the support stuff. And so power-ups are similar in that regard, which basically, because you can try to make super units, like let's say Yasuo 3 right now or GP 3, it should increase the value of artifacts and radiant items because they just multiplicatively amplify the value of that super carry or super tank. And kind of conversely, that decreases the value of quality over quantity because you're spreading out all your units, so you get less of that multiplicative effect that power-ups really amplifies. I talked about this. Oh, and then one other thing that we talked about is, and you'll see in the game, that I could have gone a different route and gone Fast 9, but I was not aware of what any Fast 9 boards look like right now. And part of that is because I'm trying to play more narrow, which is a point that Deepay made last set. I have a video about that, where he suggests if your goal is to really climb, is to like really focus on 2, 3, 4 comps at a time and really get good at those instead of playing super broad. And so I was not aware of like a Fast 9 board, and we talked about this kind of legendary soup, really good with birthday presents, bronze for life, stand united. But you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 5 costs, and then at level 9 you could throw in Zyra, Lee Sin, so 4 or 5 costs, and a bunch of 4 costs. The only non-4 or 5 cost is Xin Zhao. So this is just a like kind of the old school, like kind of Bill Gates legendary soup type comp that I wanted to have in my back pocket if the situation ever arises. So with that said, I hope you enjoy this coaching session with Aesah. I forget if I could make 10 here. Yeah. Would you lean towards making 10 here?
I personally like making 10, but I think like there's never anything wrong with holding units.
Okay.
It's a very unsolved part of TFT where I feel like a lot of the top players would do something different between the two.
I guess particularly since I don't have any pairs, it can make sense to make 10.
Yeah, I mean you have Mundo for like the potential Mundo gym build, but yeah, I would personally make 10. I know like certain players probably would sell and certain players wouldn't.
Okay.
Out of like our world champions, for example.
Right. Okay. Here.
I think the main argument against it would just be if you want to play Mundo reroll.
Mm-hmm. How viable is that comp? That's like, I think I saw Wasian had a tier list like a B tier.
Yeah, I think it's about B tier in my mind. I am doing the meta report later today, so on my prep for that, I put it around like the 9th-ish best comp.
Okay. So without a bow or rod, I could probably sell out the kills.
Um,
Try to make 10
if you
here
want to
again.
make 10 here, you could, yeah. I kind of feel like if you're not making 10 on the first round, your value of making 10 is a lot lower here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I might do it anyway, but yeah. Again, I think it's very similar to 1-3. I think this decision is close, or sorry, yeah, I think the 1-3 decision is like more like when you want to decide whether to keep units or sell.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so I don't have any 2 stars. Probably no real slammable items other than, well, just Edge of Night,
Yeah,
which would be leaning towards like either like the GP Yasuo reroll or Cassante, or I guess
yeah,
Cat. Those three.
yeah, yeah.
Which not none of these are really angling towards that. I guess out of these three,
Okay.
birthday present would stand out the most to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think birthday present is also, even though you didn't make econ in the first 2 rounds, it is econ opener. So like you are ahead of everyone in the lobby does have a lot of gold. You said it's prismatic party, so you have a maybe opportunity to get like invested later
Mm-hmm.
or just more gold.
Is Mess Hall good with like
I don't
Kale?
think Vessel is ever good. And I think offensive augments are not good with Kale. It's kind of like a scaling Rageblade comp where like you want to ramp up. So I think you really, I think that comp mostly wants defensive augments, but I think Best Hall is just never good. I think it's underpowered.
Okay. So
I think
well,
quality over quantity is not very good this set. I don't know why. I really like this augment, but I just think I've taken it a few times, even in like good spots for it, and it doesn't seem
mhm.
to perform that well.
What comps are you even angling towards with that?
Generally, you want comps where like a lot of units can benefit from items. So I guess like was last set the one with Anima Squad, where yeah,
Mm-hmm.
um, that was kind of good. Where like a lot of units can like be decent with the items, and then you have the trait to provide damage even without like a fully itemized carry. So I think on this set, like potentially Star Guardians or like some mentor comps, those are all like decent units to hold items. Like potentially Soul Fighters as well, like big verticals that make every single one of the units in the trait strong,
Mm-hmm.
or or yeah, like Mentor has like a decent amount of units you can itemize.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like it's just not that strong this set. I think it's probably because of power ups, in my opinion, where you really want like 3 items and a power up to like get really big like multiplicative scaling, and you just can't do that with quality over quantity.
Makes sense. And with that logic, Radiance and artifacts maybe gain value this set because you can make super carries and super tanks.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't really thought about it too much, but I think it's so. I'm actually gonna make a note in the Discord real fast. But yeah, so I think like Pandora's is good here. I think birthday present, as mentioned, is fine. I feel like I would lean towards Pandora's, but I think birthday present's absolutely fine.
If you're taking Pandora's here, like, are you just defaulting to like, I guess just scouting and see what's not really taken, or I guess maybe playing around the first good Radiant item that gives direction?
Yeah, I mean, if you get a Rage Blade, like it's an incredible kill spot already. with 2 kills and Rage Blade on 2-1, Radiant Rage Blade. I think that's already insane. Obviously, like that's not super likely. I think I'm most likely gonna take any AP item. Like if I hit like Shojin, Jewel Gauntlet, um, that can play into like the S tier lines.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I would mostly be thinking about those, but I don't know if you hit like a Mundo 2 and get like a good Mundo item, you could go with that. But generally, I'm looking for backline with Radiant items for the most part.
What's the thought process behind mostly looking for backline
Okay,
Radiant?
so I talked about this a decent bit, but I have a very strong belief that um, Riot balances based on data a lot, and just basically like in data, most players compared to like the level you're playing at, most players are like unable to build enough damage to like break through like a radiant, like a radiant frontline, like a radiant stone plate that gives a lot of resist and also gives health regen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in a lot of games, like players like literally can't kill the unit, so they have to make the radiant tank items weak at like a higher level. Uh, and I think like data reflects this. Like if you go from gold plus to emerald plus to diamond plus, every tank item gets worse, and
Mm-hmm.
every damage item gets better in comparison.
I see. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with tank items. I think they're just a little underpowered compared to the damage ones at a high level. Yeah, I think birthday present is completely fine given like the econ opener. And yeah, this board looks all right. I guess one argument against birthday present is not having a slammable item. It's like you're fairly likely to lose the first 3 rounds anyway,
We will
unless you
have
want Engine Knight.
try to like see if we can get a gangplank route or just play around the S2.
Um,
Because then we could
I
slam
think I
Edge of Night.
yeah, I wouldn't hate that. Hate that you do have like heavyweight Juggernaut and like Mighty Mech. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty reasonable. Like your board would be slightly weaker than it is now, but you might be able to farm some gold.
Mm,
Uh, I kind of like that actually, just
okay.
because your board actually isn't even that much weaker, assuming you slam the Edge Knight, right? Because you're down a 2-star unit, but then you have an item.
Okay. And Midas
So
Touch.
yeah, Midas Touch I think is the clear choice here. I think like it's kind of the whole point of playing the game plan to begin with. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's like a very, I mean, you're basically looking exactly for Midas Touch here.
Even if I was playing GP reroll, like between Stretchy Arms and Midas Touch is still probably better early game.
Uh, I mean, I would rather have it early game if you know you can guarantee stretchy arms, but it's a little too risky if you're like committed GP reroll to skip stretchy arms. I think
Mm,
because like it's just so strong compared to other alternatives, and then if you skip it, you might not ever have another chance to get it back.
okay. And so then at this point, I'm basically thinking most likely it's Isante.
Well, you have birthday present, so I think like you're almost always going 9. So it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't necessarily have to be. It could even be like Yone or like Gwen, for example.
Okay.
This is pretty minor, but I actually think GP is safest in Galio's spot here.
Got in the mech spot.
Yeah, just positioning wise
Oh,
early
okay.
game. Yeah. Once we go back to your board on 2-5, I'll talk about it a bit more.
So keeping him safe is more important than trying to wrap.
I don't think you're wrapping that much at stage 2.
Okay.
I kind of like taking Spat here. I think it's still really early. You don't have that much direction, and Spat is generally more value than like a random item. Um,
Mm.
you don't have to
So
take it by any means, but I like Spat.
So if I'm potentially playing around some flex 5 costs Akali Kazante for the Edge of Night, what what am I thinking about with this spat?
I think regardless of comp, I think like Strategist is extremely used in a lot of comps, and it's also one of the strongest spats.
Okay.
But that could be like for it could be for Sorks, it could be for Cassante, it could be for like anything with Mentor in it.
Okay. What about if
It
it
doesn't have
was
it doesn't
only
yeah, it doesn't
pan?
have to be that. I think Spat is a lot better because of that. Because I never count on getting a Reforger. Like, I don't know what the odds of getting a Reforger from this spot are. Um, I feel like it's slightly less than 50-50, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Between pan and component, if the spats were gone, what would you prioritize?
Um, I think I think tier is good. Uh, yeah, tier just makes a lot of good items. It can potentially be like a Gangplank item with Hand of Justice. None of the other ones are really great. Like Chang could be Titans, but um, yeah.
I guess the other upside of chain is we get the GP pair, which maybe could help us streak mid game more.
Um, I mean, actually would take GP with Chain, but that's not GP.
Oh, my bad. I'm still
Yeah.
getting used to the character models.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think it's like really confusing, definitely, like when you're learning a new set.
All right, so you just put GP somewhere in the middle instead of on the side.
Um, yeah. So basically, it's fine because you have Edge Knight, but actually, if you watch this fight, for example, basically, regardless of what side the enemy, let's just go back to the start of 2-5, like the combat. Regardless of what side the enemy on, like if they're left side, what can happen is they'll kill Aatrox and they try the GP next. But
Mhm.
basically, what happens a lot here is exactly what's happening in this fight, where um, your left side will kind of wrap around. A lot of times, Aatrox will get hit before GP, but because basically, if your opponent is right side, the spot where your Galio is like frequently or last to die because your units will like wrap around, or even like where Zac is.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. 5 Battle Academia. Wow, 2 gold, nice.
GP found me so much gold this stage.
Yeah, I think playing around GP is just very high value for like exactly this reason. I try to play around him as much as possible, and I think like playing him over the Ezreal. Uh, I mean, in hindsight, seems like super correct.
Mm-hmm. So with these items, I think in my mind, and this maybe I was just thinking too narrow because I'm still getting used to the set. Like I
Okay.
haven't played around any Fast 9 lines at all. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
and so, and I haven't played any Cassante. Um,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
out of all the comps that I've researched, like basically I just put together this research list and I was just trying to at least get comfortable with these
Yeah.
comps. So out of
Hmm.
all of these, and given that I have Edge of Night slammed, it's pretty much Cassante and Cat. Or I guess, yeah.
Uh,
Cassante, Cat,
yeah, well,
and GP, but I'm trying to push levels, so I'm basically thinking Cassante.
yeah, exactly. Sure. I think because you have birthday present, you also have options for like the level 9 units as well. There's some other like comps that are not as good as Cassante, like uh, like 4 edgelord comps that can use Edge.
Hmm.
But yeah, you don't have to be that committed to this one Edge.
Hmm.
That being said, I think I would just go like Giant Slayer and blue buff here to maximize your chance of winning rounds, maximize like your econ from GP farming, and just save HP in general.
Blue buff and GS, you said?
Yeah,
And then if I was going to play towards a Cassante line, because I'm just
yeah.
trying to keep it simple and like get used to the units first. Um, Kind of like what we were talking about last set from I think it was Deepay's talk of like just trying to play more narrow. Um,
Okay, yeah, yeah. Mech variant looks good.
what I guess I wasn't sure between the mech variant and the standard variant because I had just done the research. I haven't played it either of them. It seems like mech variant statistically may be skewed by bronze for life, making it extremely good. And so in this spot right here, I wasn't sure like which one I should lean towards. I am already having the mech, but I'm like holding both lines. Like I started holding the Nico, and how would you kind of tiebreak between which variant to go from this
I would
spot?
just go for the top one. Like you already have the Zac 2, Aatrox 2, and Cannon Pair, and I also just think is a better variant.
Okay.
So to me, I would just not think about the bottom one at all because like it basically uses the same units as the top one for the
Mhm.
ones you don't have, and you already have like again, you already have 8 out of 9 of the one costs.
Okay. And then if I go this variant, blue buff would go Karma.
Yeah,
GS could
blue
go
is basically
either.
the same as Shojin. Blue is half a mana per second worse than Shojin on Karma.
To my understanding, Cassante and Akali are kind of the primary carries. Um, is
Um,
there a scenario where you
yeah,
just itemize Cassante and Karma first?
I mean you could put blue on Akali as well.
Okay.
You would just itemize whoever you 2-star first, basically. If you 2-star all of them, then I guess you're gonna reevaluate based on your other items.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have that much experience with Lee Sin, but that's also like another potential like level 9 Edge Knight holder.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can save for Infinity Edge, but I think Giant Slayer is basically just as good. Like Infinity Edge is going to be a little bit better on both of these units, but obviously you don't need to slam here, so it's good to save save the component. But if I think it like might make a difference in a fight, I'm absolutely fine just slamming.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
I think all of these are pretty bad. Just because Lucky Gloves, I think you need multiple TGs to get value. Uplink,
yeah.
you're like pretty low on components. Like you'll probably have one itemized units, and unlimited power, honestly, maybe it has some potential. It's not that much value right now.
Yeah. I'm thinking, given that I'm gonna have a bunch of two-star like high cost units, I want more items. This would be better if I already had a glove. So then I'm thinking out of these three, unlimited power is probably the best because I can itemize Karma, Akali, even like Rise. Although Rise seems kind of more suboptimal because his traits aren't really optimized.
Um, Wait, sorry, say that one more time.
I guess I'm thinking with unlimited power, if I'm going towards this line, there are a lot of AP item holders. So I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. So it's definitely like potentially like out of these three, I think I like unlimited power the most.
Okay.
But I would assume you roll into something better most of the time with 2 rerolls. Hmm. I think Coronation and Unlimited are pretty close in value. I'm not sure which one I like better.
Like coordination, this as an item is like worth less than a normal item, right? Or about the same as a regular item.
Yeah, it's a little bit less, right? Like I think if you compare it directly to maybe like Giant Slayer, let me just pull up Giant Slayer real fast. Info, Giant Slayer. Okay, I don't know how to find it on meta TFT. Go to Tactics Tools. Giant Slayer. So Giant Slayer is 20 AD, 15% attack speed, as well as a 10 to 25% damage amp. So you can see that Coronation gives 5 more attack speed, 5 more AD, but it doesn't have like the 10 or 25% damage amp. So it's like almost, I would say, like strictly worse than Giant Slayer.
Mhm.
But it is an item you can put on like your GP right now and save your components. I also think like maybe with Birthday Present it's nice because like let's say you're playing this Cassante comp that's 8 units, and then you're gonna get a 2-star legendary, right? Like with Birthday Present, and
Mhm.
potentially even like another one if you are in the spot to go 10. So being able to fit those in might have some value. I'm not that sure which one I think is better between left or middle. Um,
I was thinking that even if I get more like 2-star 5 costs, I won't have enough items to itemize all of them. So I was like kind of
yeah,
leaning more towards this one.
yeah. I kind of like middle more for the same reason. But there's also if they're close, then like you got extra reroll, which can be nice.
Hmm. Right.
But yeah,
Like what
I think
would we
I
be
think
looking for that would be better? Like another
I think
item
the
augment?
best thing you can hit with level or sorry with what's it called with your birthday present is anything that gives you econ. So specifically,
Oh,
I
right.
guess it's only invested.
Invested. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's like the absolute best thing you can hit. Um, I guess you can't. I guess Prismatic Party birthday present might actually be a little worse because there's not that many econ options.
Mhm.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that much, but I guess birthday present's slightly worse than Prismatic.
Hmm.
Although hitting invested is a lot better, and there's not that many prismatic options, and hitting invested is a lot better than hitting like slam and plus here.
Invested plus is like significantly worse than plus plus though, right?
Um, Not necessarily because it gives you an extra 3 rolls per round, right? So like normally the round you take this, you can start getting some extra rolls, so you're getting like 6 gold per round.
Okay. So you just kind of sack some rounds. Would you
You
put
could go either way, yeah.
okay.
But I would definitely want to prioritize holding like 70 gold. You don't always have to, like you can dip down to like 50 or something if you have like a good birthday present level up round. But I think you definitely want to prioritize getting the. I mean, 3 extra rolls at 6 gold is quite a lot.
Right.
Yeah, you will be double econ, but you should be able to compensate with that by just getting really high level.
Wasn't sure what to slam here. I kept on wanting to
Yeah, yeah,
save this sword for IE.
yeah. I is definitely better than GS, but it doesn't make that big of a difference. I would be pretty comfortable after you pick your augment just putting a sword on Gangplank as well.
Okay.
Um, you probably only get punished if you get dropped exactly. I'm not really sure even. It's probably pretty safe.
Okay.
Because like any bow item you might want to make, like let's say you want to make Last Whisper, you could just make IE instead. Or if you want to make you know, I guess like if you got dropped the sword, you would already have a sword either way. Wow, this guy's Priz ticket shoe 0. I would level tier with birthday present. You have a lot of stuff to sell. I think like you can still make 40 if you level on this round.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I'm on streak. Okay.
Yeah, you'll get like a decent power spike, right? You'll get a 3-star 3 cost or 2-star 3 cost. And it's just really cheap.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think
So
if there's
it's
like a 10% it makes a difference in this fight, it's worth leveling.
I should have scouted too.
It's okay.
All right. As far as item components, I'm looking for a glove for IE. I already have a Morello. I wasn't sure what to, and I have no tank items. I guess how important are tank items for this build? This is mainly like
Tank items
tier
are
items.
not. Yeah, I would say they're they're not as important as traditional front to back comps, but just because like anytime you have melee carries like Asante, there's no guarantee that your main tank will die before your Cassante, unless like you compromise your positioning pretty greatly.
Hmm.
So it has like less value in these kind of comps. You mostly just want to do like a lot of damage and kill them like kind of while Edge of Night is protecting you enough.
Okay.
So yeah, I want to deprioritize tank items for sure. Anytime you have melee carries, tank items just go down in value because you can't guarantee that they are getting value for your backline.
Right. Okay. Oh, I even wrote that here. Okay. um, okay. So then after glove, this bow can be void staff. This rod can be JG.
I don't think you. Well, Akali is executioner,
Oh, right.
so JG is not as necessary.
Death cap.
Um,
Another one.
yeah, having shred is never going to be bad, and then death cap is. I guess if you want to itemize karma and Akali, since we have the augment that kind of gives us a whole bunch of AP items, maybe we can do that.
Hmm.
But also then I think like voice staff is extra value. But yeah, rod can be whatever. Like it can be JG and just go on karma.
Okay.
Death cap is fine as well. I think Gunblade is not that much value in this comp because there's not
No
you
super
don't have like
tank.
a yeah, you don't have like a good tank to benefit from the healing.
All right. So given that glove's gone,
Yeah.
go
Hmm.
tier, and then
To me I feel like bow is actually the hardest component to use effectively, so maybe just voice staff here.
yeah. And if void staff's gone, then something for the rod. Is crown guard
Yeah.
ever? Is how's crown guard on a collie?
I have to imagine it's okay, but I haven't like looked at stats or anything, but it seems like it should be fine.
0.3. Yeah, I wasn't sure what to take.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Belt is just generally a good component. But yeah, I think like the IE plus Striker's Flow build on Cassante, it is going to be his best build, but you don't need it. You can go like Giant Slayer plus Sterix. It's going to be like almost as good. Especially since he's not your only carry. You don't need
Mm,
like the Trubus as like kind of the sword comp. Your Karma's kind of like your only carry. So you really want to like prioritize your best in slot.
right. What's your take on
But you're gonna
the
have
Nasher slam here? I'm like,
yeah. Oh, I think Masters is fine.
okay. I was definitely thinking the same thing. Like, um, I couldn't kill the bow with anything other than void staff, and I don't want so many components to hang
Yeah, yeah. No, I think Masters is absolutely fine here.
around.
I don't think this one matters that much by like power font, I guess.
Power font.
Just because bullet hell doesn't affect her entire ability.
Oh, okay.
Heart of Gold is like I guess you could take it for one round, but since you won the previous round, you might as well just try to win this one.
Okay.
Doesn't matter too much, I feel like. Yeah, bullet hell is just really good on most champions, but Janna, it doesn't affect her shield, I think, which is like half the value of her ability, or
I
not
see.
half, but like a decent chunk of it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, I think at this point I was still confused as to which one. I was still flexing both of these, and I ended up
Right,
getting
yeah, I
super
see.
dizzy.
I see, yeah. Yeah, I was just committed to the top one since you already have all the pieces.
Okay.
I guess you have a lot of pieces for the bottom one, but just like based on like your own research, I think the top one has like a much better. It's just like a better comp.
Okay.
This one's pretty tricky. I would think GS like has to be your Kusante item if you're going that down that line. I would think. Let's see with these items.
Reforge bow first.
I think reforging bow is pretty safe. Yeah, yeah. If you're kind of like angling this comp, which I think is good. Like you said, you're already dizzy. I think like not flexing too much is good. Um, yeah. I mean, this could be like even shroud maybe. Spark as well.
So
And another
GS,
death cap, yeah.
GS, Death Cap, Even Shroud.
Yeah. That is kind of what it looks like to me. It's the only way you can get like 3 items like reliably, I think. I don't think there's many other ways you can do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can do this, but you're sitting on 4 components for like stage 4, which is not the greatest. I mean, Water Lotus covers the IE. Is it good? It's not very good on any of these units because they're all really low mana. Hold the Line, I think, is definitely not takeable. It only buffs your backline and you're playing around melee carries. Refactor, I think, is not. I don't think any of these are like amazing. I would feel like I would hope to get something better, but if you don't, I think I would just take probably Water Lotus, I guess. Just because like you already have a lot of items in different carries, so Radiant
Mm-hmm.
Refractor is like less value than normal.
I roll right.
Yeah, Water Lotus is not great just because like you have mostly low mana units, but I think it's probably the best option here.
Yeah.
It's also because you have Birthday Present. Maybe eventually you'll get like 5 costs. Oh, I think you should take Invested for sure. Yeah, okay, that's really good. And then I'm just trying to go 9 pretty soon. Maybe on 4 or 5 potentially. I want to itemize this Akali for sure. Oh, 9 here. Yeah, I think that's fine too. I think getting your items on first is more important, but
Oh,
out of
okay.
these options, probably yeah, unflinching seems fine. And that's kind of what I was saying about like the Cassante earlier is like because you have birthday present, I don't think you need to be that committed to Cassante specifically because you can hit Lisa, Yone, and Gwen, which is 3 out of the 8 5 costs.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
like Braum, honestly, can use Session Knight.
So then what's like the cookie cutter level 9 board look like then? 'Cause I have not theory crafted that at all.
I think with birthday present, there's not really like a super straightforward one. Mentor is one that's kind of cheap.
Uh,
Um, you could just go into something like for Edgelord potentially if you have Yone. You could do like the old mech mentor. You could do. I mean, if you had like Gwen, you actually could just do 6 Sork from this spot. I feel like there's almost um, it actually like, kind of fits. There's like a strategist level 9 board with like Zinjao here, and then Aatrox or I don't know why I said Aatrox. Zinjao, Jarvan.
yeah, I guess
Right.
given that I haven't like researched any of this, I feel like
Yeah, yeah.
there's no way I would figure it out on the fly.
I don't think you need like a specific board though with birthday present
Uh,
because you're just trying to play like a decent board around like a 2-star legendary. Like you can just play the board you have even,
right.
and then you can go 10 on like 5-1 and play like a lot of 2-star legendaries.
Okay, so just forget about boards and just play like strongest board, gradually transition.
I think it's specifically with birthday present. Without birthday present, I think like you really want to be like more committed to a line. But I think
Hmm.
like with birthday present, you can be a little more flexible.
Okay. And then as far as power ups, I have not looked at Lee Sin's power ups at all.
Yeah, fletching seems fine. Immunity to CC is always good late game.
Okay. And then Edge of Night GS on Lee. And
Yeah, I would just
then,
put everything on Lee right now, and I think like moving the Janet items to Akali as well.
okay. And do we want Lee to be duelist? Probably because we were trying to deal damage. Or would we want to play 4 Juggernaut?
Yeah, I don't really know, honestly. I think like after you have this Lee Sin, I just think you don't need Cassante anymore.
Okay.
Because right now, like the changes you're making to your board are you're like kind of making your board weaker.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have
Yeah,
moved this off Janna and put Spark somewhere else.
yeah, I think just like having 3 items on like your 2-star 4 cost and your 2-star 5 cost is just like the key here.
Yeah.
And then you can just go 10 on like probably like 5-1. Yeah, yeah. To me, it's like once you have Lee Sin 2, you just don't need Cassante. Um,
Okay, so forget about the board. I just want to get rid of the low costs and then like throw in strategists, throw in 5 costs, whatever
yeah, I think
synergies make
I
sense.
think you'll be able to like figure it out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is the one exception to the rule around what Deepay was saying around playing
Oh,
narrow.
like choosing your line. Yeah, I think like because you have birthday present, you're gonna get a random 2-star 5 cost. You don't know what it is. And you're going to want to like activate their traits generally.
Hmm. So
So
actually,
yeah, I think birthday present specifically, I think is an exception, and there's not that many exceptions, but yeah, I think this is one. Like if you
birthday,
get Yone, for example, right, you're gonna want Edgelord.
yeah. Looking at this, half of the 5 costs are good at holding bruiser items. So it seems like with birthday
Yeah, that's what I was
present,
saying. Yeah, 4 out of
slamming
8.
Edge of Night with Gangplank to like go this fast 9 path seems like pretty viable.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think so too.
Okay. And then just flex once I get there. Okay. Yeah, it's like challenging because I've historically played so flex and I'm trying to play more
Yeah, yeah,
narrow.
I
So
know.
I'm like going,
Yeah,
like I went one direction, tried to inverse it, now like kind of reverse coursing again.
yeah. No, I understand for sure. Yeah, I just want to move your items. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Like 2 items Janna here, I think is very easily could potentially cost you around.
Or 2 Adam Lee.
Or 3 item Janna, sorry.
Oh, 3 Adam Janna.
Like not having your Janna items on like a better unit.
What other unit would you put it on right now? I mean, I guess Akali should have more optimized, so it should be a
Yeah.
Death Cap, Archangel,
Yeah,
Nasher.
I want like your best items on Akali, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I didn't fruit the Akali.
Yeah, that too, actually. Hemorrhage is really good for Akali. That's more
Oh,
like niche info. That's okay. I'm not too stressed about this pick.
okay. Because Hemorrhage, she just like burns them after finishes them off.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
because Hemorrhage is 60% more damage, but obviously normally you don't get the full value usually. But with Akali, you actually get the full value quite a lot. Yeah, I would just hold this TF because you're going 10.
Oh.
So it's like
Oh.
you can hit like a 2-star TF, right?
Okay. Two
I
star
think like you
TF
don't need I
with.
think like you don't ever need to be playing like a Nico on your board ever at level 10.
Okay. Is TF's just good as a standalone unit?
Yeah, I just hold all these legendaries because like go back. I think you had Gwen and someone else.
Yeah.
Basically, like you never need to be playing these cheap units when you have access to legendaries. Like the whole point of playing these cheap units is, well, if you don't have 2-star legendaries, which is usually, but
Yeah. I guess this set, I've been just hearing people complaining how the five, or at least this patch, the five costs are weak. So then I'm still trying to play around this Cassante board.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, they're definitely stronger than I think any one of these five costs is stronger than Cassante.
Okay. So I should
Uh,
just be playing five cost soup here.
yeah, like the oh, this one's actually really weak. I was all the surfing. But
Oh,
yeah, this is like a knowledge diff. Like you don't know this, right? But like
yeah.
just looking at your shops, like you would actually have like pretty much every two. Like I would have like Yone 2 here, Twisted Fate 2, like all these 2 stars. Seraphine is actually just really bad.
Yone 2 is
Um,
okay.
but,
I guess you could
but
just
that's
look
just a knowledge
at
check. Yeah,
win rate here.
I don't think win rate here is that good because this is just the comps they're played in.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I would need to filter like two, in the Data Explorer 2-star with 3 items.
Like Seraphine is, I mean, if you filter out like let's say 4 or more Star Guardian, I think Seraphine is, or like and Prodigy, because Seraphine is played in the Yumi comp and she's also played in the Star Guardian comp.
Hmm.
I think if you take those out, Seraphine will be really bad. Yeah,
Okay.
she's just like played in the good comps. But yeah, I think like you want to be playing like Gwen, Zara, Twisted Fate, Yone,
Okay.
Braum for sure. Pretty much everything except Seraphine, I think. And I think like Varus, you don't really have items for him. You
Yeah.
definitely can play him. I don't think he's like bad or anything, especially because I mean you're still trying to play around Cassante, so like obviously you need Varus in this case. You don't need to do the fruit on a different unit. In fact, it makes it worse, right? Because like if you use the fruit on Cassante right here instead of the Jarvan, you always get 3 non all out power ups every time that
Oh,
Cassante can
okay.
roll.
Okay. Yeah.
Or like you always tailor you've already tailored 3 out, so if you use it on Jarvan, there's a chance that Jarvan rolls one like mana rush that Cassante can't even roll. So
Right.
you're
Okay.
actually like decreasing your chance of hitting all out.
Yeah. Okay. Good point.
I'd say more importantly, it's just you have 40 gold. You don't really have time to do this.
Okay. And I still have 3 item Janna.
Yeah, like even if it increased your chance of hitting all out by like 20%, I think it's like not worth like because it's just so costly time wise.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I for sure would have hit like a Gwen 2 or I don't know what else to smooth these
Yeah,
items over.
yeah, because if you look at how much gold you have in your board, like you don't need like I mean Aatrox is a completely dead unit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you still have like items on Janna. You just need like more time more than anything. I would keep a Kali because I think for the spot you're not with like kind of double econ. You're like stage 5 is a stage you really want to win. Like this is the kind of stage you spike actually.
Hmm.
Um, so I think at this point with double econ, like other people probably have their boards by stage 6. So I don't think you're gonna like win out. So I wouldn't mind like holding this like 3-star Kali out. Yeah, I think the main thing is just the items on the Janna. If these items were on like a Gwen 2, for example, and then you
Yeah.
also have a dead Aatrox on your board, so it's like you are level 10, but you're not using it.
Hmm.
I guess it's not completely dead, it's Juggernaut with Lee Sin, but yeah, it's not that much value, obviously.
When I was itemizing Lee, it probably should have been list, I assume.
I'm not sure. I'm not that familiar with the Lee Sin abilities. Like intuitively, you would think Duelist does, or I mean, you have Executioner with Rise and Akali as well. Um,
Oh,
so I would think intuitively it would be Executioner,
yeah.
but I don't actually know like which one's better. Lee Sin's
Okay.
not a unit that like is played around a lot this set.
Hmm.
I think like people kind of haven't discovered, myself included. But I just think like because you have Akali, like Executioner just makes sense.
Okay. So just to summarize, I think 3-3, that not leveling here probably made a big difference in being able to preserve streak, as I lost this round. Um,
Yeah, you might have lost anyway, but it's just such a low investment. It costs like 1 gold total because
yeah,
you're making 40 probably.
and then I should have just committed one way or the other to um, what is it, the
Yeah,
line, the Casante lines, and then once I hit the Lee, I should have just like gone for 5
yeah.
cost soup.
If you look at your document for Cassante, I think the advantage of flexing, just like look at these two. I feel like there's no reason to flex these two if you already have one.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason you would flex between potentially like Karma and Yumi, right? Is like let's say you want to play Karma, but you hit 2-star Yumi on your roll down. Then it's like a different board. But like here, you're looking for the same units. Like what? Like let's say you hit both boards. Like why would you choose to play one over the other? They're the
Right.
same, right? So it's like it's not like oh I missed X unit. I guess the top board has Karma specifically, so it's like maybe if you miss Karma, but like you don't need her. She's not like the mandatory unit in this comp, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
You can just play Senna, right? For an ex, you can even play Senna for Executioner.
I did have more AP items, so I guess maybe part of it is like, is Karma stronger or Rise stronger? Although I didn't even move. I think in the end game I had Rise
Yeah,
too, and I didn't even move the items over.
yeah. I think if there's one single biggest mistake, it's that you're board on 5-1. You're bored throughout the entirety of stage 5. You had like 50 gold, but you didn't move. You're kind of focused on like making like really minor plays instead of like important plays, I think. Like
Right.
moving items off Janna here, I think is like very, very important. I would have done this on stage 4. I would have done it the instant you hit the Sakali too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, I would say like this is a mistake. This is a stage 4 mistake. It just ended up working out this game where you didn't get punished in stage 4. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would say that's probably the single biggest mistake of the game is not moving the items off the Janna.
Okay.
It's like you were really time pressured, but you were using your time on things that were like not that important, like the fruit tail and Cassante, for example.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the last thing is like just get rid of the shitter units and play around 5 costs once I'm going 10.
Yeah, I think
Don't play around
because like
Casante.
let's say hypothetically you have that Cassante board. Let's look at your doc again. Let's say like you have this meta board around Cassante. If you hit like a, like Kennen gives, or I guess Ken's protector. So he's. Let's look at the top board for example. Okay, like
Mm-hmm.
Zach gives like Wraith and Heavyweight, but if you have like a 2-star Varus, you're gonna lose Heavyweight, but it's just better. Um, it's just the same for a lot of these units.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kennen gives Protector and Supreme Cell. Like these are like I guess pretty important traits. But I guess like Aatrox giving like Mighty Mech only. Like Mighty Mech it's just a tank, right? Like if you play I guess there's not any legendary tanks, but if you just play like a 2-star Braum or something, it's probably already like tankier.
Yeah.
Or even just like a 2-star, like a I don't know, like a second Cassante.
Yeah. So if I just replace these 3 1 costs with any 3 5 costs, it should just be better.
Yeah, exactly.
Which in this game I had more than enough gold to actually hit that.
Yeah. And you could even again, I think like you said, playing less flex because like you've been playing too flex in the past. I think it's really good that like you're kind of sticking to your goals. I think that's really good. But yeah, it's like if you hit 2-star Gwen, that's actually just better than 2-star Kali in basically every circumstance with the same items.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know for sure. I think Yone is just better than Cassante, but I'm not like 100% sure.
Yeah. And
And
when,
I don't know about Lee Sin.
right. Okay. Have you seen people playing around like 5 cost soup in this patch?
Yeah, I'll say the most common one is take the Lee Sin off the board
Uh huh.
and put on Volibear, Jarvan, or Jarvan's already there.
Yeah.
Rise. The 7 units. One more Mighty Mech unit. Who are we missing for Mighty Mech? Oh, Karma. They look like the exact same, yeah. This is like a really common. I shouldn't say really common because like most people are not playing this board. As you can see, this board is entirely 4 cost or higher except for Xinjiao.
Yeah.
So it's not really like a good board, but it's one like you could potentially play in your game.
Hmm. Okay. And then who do you throw in at
Um,
level
I, I,
9?
I I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't say this board is like good. It's like it's a board you can play like one in like 50 games. But like this is one where like you
Right.
can where like you're level 10 with like infinite gold.
And this is really good with what you call it, the traits thing, bronze for life.
Yeah, I mean it's just good in general. You're just playing like all 4 costs or higher. All of these units are pretty good. I mean Xinjiao's your only synergy bot.
And then you could just throw in like a Zyra for attack speed at level 9.
Yeah, because Zyra would be this would be level 9. Zyra is I think Zyra's a little overrated as a standalone unit with no items.
Okay.
She does give a team wide buff, but like there's been a lot of units like this in the past that like people aren't playing, and she does give you the plant, which is nice.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, just for example, last set was there something that did this last set? Either way, I think it's like not that uncommon to have a unit that gives like a buff kind of along these lines. But I think people just like Zyra because she's a 5 cost, but with no items, she's not doing that much. I think she's pretty overrated. But like you don't really have anything else to play, so you can just play Zyra here, yeah.
Okay.
You
What
can play like
about?
a second copy of Braum. I think it's better.
Oh, yeah, yeah. What
TF
about?
is purely a carry, so like TF is just like if you have damage items for him.
Okay. And are you putting this front or back usually? I've only seen
Um,
people put front.
yeah, it just depends what you need more of. I've seen it put in the back quite a lot. If someone's playing like Kale reroll or like Six Juggernaut Ash, you'll probably want it in the back.
Okay. Makes sense. Cool. This is helpful.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Talk to you later.
See ya.